Hey guys, what's going on? Magnus here, finally back on the channel, and in today's video we'll be looking at the highlights coming from the finals between Yariii and Warriors in the Knights division of the Gladiators Champs League. Information about the GCL will be below in the description. Taking a quick look at the stats, we see that the breakdown was 3 Town Hall 10s and 12 Town Hall 9s. A very close war, both sides cleared 9s with 9s, Yariii edging out at 80%, allowing both sides 6 10v10 opportunities. Unfortunately, due to some close calls, neither managed to secure a triple. Let's get into the highlights. Kicking things off, we've got Paven Bopari of Yariii bringing us a Queen Charge Lalo. Wizard down at 7 with a Test Loon at 6. Queen comes down at 530. Wizard's going to take out 3 structures here, which sets up the perfect funnel for the Queen to go from her 530 up till the 3 o'clock corner. Queen will take out the Elixir Storage, steps up, takes out the Archer Tower, DE Drill, and Air Defense. Paven's going to drop another Wizard and the BK. They're going to clear the outside flank, so the Queen will walk up the middle alley. Uses the BK ability. Keeps the Queen on the inside. Sends in a test wall breaker to that top corner. Sends in the remaining wall breakers here. Gets access. He does lure the CC. Paven sends in some more wall breakers, trying to get into the second layer here. BK still doing work, has walked around up to 1 o'clock now. Rage and Poison is used on the Hound Pop. Back-end minion to take out one of these clear pups. Sends in 2 more wall breakers. Unfortunately, the Queen will snipe them before they get that second break. Queen steps up, takes out the Expo, locks on to the cannon, phases the Queen, takes out the Sweeper and the enemy Queen, and starts sending in his Lalo. Coming from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, hastes in on top of the Wizard Tower. Rages into the Tesla farm at the core. First sound pops at 9 o'clock. Back end one comes in to cover. Last Wizard Tower goes down as all the loons do converge on this last Expo. Hound pops and he sends in a Rage over the air defense. These loons just jet over the cannon and Archer Tower. Pups, Loons, and Wizard will clear up the rest of this, and this base is smashed. Up next is Krish from Yariii bringing us a Town Hall 9 Skelly Donut. He rages the core, pops 4 Skellies. Skeletons eat the Queen, eat the CC, eat the King, and eat a Sweeper. He drops a Wizard at the southeast, takes out the Barracks, the second one at the southwest for a gold mine, BK on the Dark Barracks. Mortar goes down. Unfortunately, the second Wizard doesn't get that other mortar down. Sends in wall breakers at 6 towards those 2 ADs. BK steps up, takes out the air defense and the cannon. Queen does not go inside the base, pulls towards that mortar. And she will continue to walk around versus going inside. BK ability has been used and does take out the second air defense. Unfortunately, leaving up that bomb tower is going to risk pulling the loon sideways a little bit. The Lalo comes in at 3:34 o'clock. Hasting the first set of loons over the double Wizard Tower and Tesla with Expo. First hound has popped. Second hound is at the 12 o'clock. Hasted loons in. Chris sends in a back-end Lalo from the west at 9 o'clock. Hound does eat 2 black bombs. Unfortunately, with these traps are set up pretty well that Chris has actually lost a couple loons. However, at this point, with only 3 air targeting defenses left up, there's not enough that's going to be able to pull this down. Unfortunately, this last hound is not going to pop, making this a very long cleanup. He's going to haste some loons. They're going to go through and just pick off these last storages. As the pops at 12 o'clock will take out this final gold mine. Shifting attentions, we're going to take a look at a hit from Ash's India of Warriors. And his attack's got a little bit of everything. We've got a Queen Walk. We've got Goho. We've got a P.E.K.K.A. Ash is going to start off with a wizard at the west side and a wizard at the southeast. Baby Dragon. Following the second wizard, it is going to eat a Sam pretty quickly. However, that wizard at 9 is going pretty much uncontested and is getting a ton of value. Ash sends in a loon, seeking for any sort of traps. Catches an early mine. Healers come down. Queen is going to engage this archer tower. Golem, P.E.K.K.A, and boulders come down at 8 o'clock. Enemy queen steps up. Poison drop on the queen. Ash was really hoping to not have to use a phase here. However, does pop the queen. CC is lured. Wallbreaker fail at 8 o'clock does slow us down as we now have to beat through this first compartment. Golem and boulders follow suit. Jump is set over the air defenses. BK follows. Queen does turn right and will walk up towards 3 o'clock. Enemy queen does engage. Rage is dropped as the boulders start to really just shred up the top side. Pack of hogs are dropped at 3 o'clock. Astra trickling some more of the hogs at the top side. There is just so much anarchy going on here as this base just starts to collapse under everything going on here. All the troops do their part, converging at the top to secure the 3-star. Our next feature comes from, and I apologize in advance for butchering this, SK Sahana Jali of Warriors, bringing us another Lalo attack. Wizards down at the flank, minion doing some early work on this elixir storage. Brings out a CC Golem, max level Golem. Drops a jump into this annex, forcing the king and golem into this compartment with the queen. Unfortunately, the queen is gonna pull right after taking out this archer tower. King ability is used and dispatches the enemy queen. The golem has lured this enemy hound here. Queen continues to work up the flank. Will take out this wizard tower. Now here he phases his queen before she starts beating on the wall. The minute this golem takes out this air defense, he starts sending in his Lalo from 7 o'clock. 2 hounds come down. The loons converge, coming onto this archer tower. Her first haste is dropped, speeding them into the archer tower, wizard tower. Third hound is down. Second haste comes down, and these troops are going to start whipping through against the air sweeper. 12 o'clock haste comes down, whipping these loons into the archer tower. Another hound pops, rage is dropped, and this pack of loons are going to take out this Tesla farm and then smoke that archer tower and cannon. Final hound pops. Loons are going to circle around, haste onto the mortar, air defense, and BK. The impressive move here for SK was taking that early queen pop so that the queen could not engage with that lava hound and potentially jeopardize his entire raid. And as the loons begin to close off these final buildings, this is a 3-star with some swag. Bringing it back, Mr. Hell from Yariii is going to bring us a Suicide Hero Lalo attack. His first wizard comes down at 3 o'clock to take that cheap gold mine. BK comes down to start tanking on the elixir storage. Wizard takes out the gold mine. Queen follows. Enemy queen engages with the BK. His ability is used. The barbarians will tank for the queen as she locks on to the enemy archer queen, takes her out, knocks out the air defense, then the cannon. Queen will rotate left and start coming down towards 4 o'clock. Mr. House starts his Lalo, 2 loons coming onto the mortar here. He does an early phase on the queen so that she doesn't die while doing work here. Now, the CC here is going to really wreak havoc on Mr. Hell. Poison doesn't do much on the enemy CC here, as the baby dragon will wreak havoc on these hounds. The minions actually end up taking out the witch at the top of the base. Mr. Hell is going to continue forcing through his Lalo. And it's actually the 3rd hound pop that will finally dispatch of this enemy baby dragon. Heals dropped over the core, haste the remaining pack of loons. Wizard Tower is knocked. The back end loon didn't get that cannon, so there is a split here. However, they will still circle around. He does use a skeleton spell on that Expo. However, they will mix up with the witch's skeletons. And at this point, we will speed up the rest of the raid as a couple loons and these skeletons will take quite a while to beat through the rest here. We're going to flip it back to Devil from Warriors, bringing us a very familiar attack. It seems a lot like the old Golem Avalanche. So the first set of golems come down, tanking each set of defenses. Wizards will cut the funnel. Queen is at the top here working on the town hall. Set of wall breakers are dropped for 12 o'clock. They do gain access to the first layer. Second set of golems have been dropped at 10 and at 2, and they will continue to flank and tank for the wizards on the outside. Watch where he put this jump here over this air defense. Golems will go in, eat a giant bomb, but they tank for these bowlers and these heroes, and they gain access to that expo in the center of the base. The second jump comes down over the next air defense, gaining access to the lower half of this base here. Poison's dropped on the queen, heal is dropped. King ability is used, and they will continue to push through this Tesla farm and this enemy queen. Golemite will lure the CC. It is a hound. However, the bowlers continue to do their work with the queen, with the king. Hound does lock on to one of these golems here, and the queen does engage. Poisons drop for the final Hound pop. Queen ability is used. We'll push through these pups, push through this bomb tower. And we'll reach over and take out the archer tower as the final buildings collapse. Our next attack comes from Yariii and Warriors, bringing us an attack that looks very similar to Go Wipe. Starting things off, he trickles in some wizards between 6 and 9 o'clock, establishing a very early funnel, sends in 2 golems to flank the 2 compartments. Backup wizards come in. Test wall breaker is down. He sends in the remaining wall breakers and gets the break. Now, very patiently, Yariii waits for these buildings to fall down, these last 2 defenses, before sending in his royals, his P.E.K.K.A.s, and his bowlers. He gets the lore in the CC, but very patiently he waits for the bowlers to get into the compartment before dropping a rage. Jump is ready as everything moves into the next compartment. Hound pops. Poison's down for half the pups. Second jump is down, getting into the Expo and Bomb Tower compartments. King ability is used, and he'll quickly phase through that Bomb Tower and enemy BK. He sends in a 3rd golem at the mortar at 10 o'clock, tanking for the wizards as they mow through that Tesla farm. Some back-end hogs have come through at 4 o'clock with the back-end cleanup. And they'll just move around the base, taking out these final few defenses, taking off that mortar as the queen locks onto the wizard tower. And as these last buildings fall down, Yariii secures a 3-star for Warriors. Our final raid comes from Game Changer from Yariii, bringing us yet again another Queen Charge Lalo. Queen set down at 4. Loon sent in to trip any sort of traps or bombs. Wizard down at 6 o'clock takes out the quick elixir storage. Moves on to the army camp. Queen forces her way up. Baby Dragon with the Barbarian King at 3 o'clock will move through, taking out these cheap little buildings here. Ability is used on the Barbarian King, leaving the Queen nowhere to go inside but the base. Test wall breakers down. They pass 2 different ways. One does catch the raids and does break into the T-junction of the east end of the base here. Enemy Queen aggroes but is quickly dispatched by our Queen here. Queen steps up and aggroes the CC, poisons down, catches the Witch. Game Changer tries to get the second layer break here. Unfortunately, the wall breakers continue to go astray. Queen takes out the air sweeper, turns around, takes out the archer tower, steps up to the elixir storage, and then we'll take out this air defense. Coming from 1 o'clock, Game Changer drops his Lalo. 2 hounds converged on the first air defense. Haste is dropped with his pack of loons, and they force their way through both wizard towers before moving on to this Expo. Hound Pop over the air defense triggers the air skeletons. Final Haste is down, moving through the Expo, feeding into the Teslas at the 9 o'clock. Catching all sorts of air traps here. Queen ability is finally used to beat through this wall. Queen steps up, takes out the air skeletons before turning around. Walks back outside the base, then back inside the base to lock onto that elixir storage. And with everything collapsing on these last army camp, that is a 3-star. Coming into the playoffs, these clans were undefeated in their brackets. Only one was able to take the trophy, and ultimately, this war came down to a battle of percent. Congratulations to Yariii as the GCL Knights Division Season 1 champions.